What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Go ahead, turn on a little monetization on the stream. You know what I'm saying? How are we doing? Futures are slightly green, nothing too crazy. How are you guys doing? What's going on? Dan the man, yo, what's up? Play a white. Chris, the Win Lambo. Letty Garcia. What's going on, guys? How was today? How was Tilray? Jeez. Like, what? What is that? That's crazy. What are you guys doing out there? Kind of moves are you making? What it do? Just got back from the Kingman, Arizona, just in time for your show. Perfect timing. Cheese chaser. What's up, Tyler? You know, chasing the cheese. Chasing the green. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I don't know. I didn't expect this crazy move, honestly. Julie, what is up? We'll see if it can hold up, though. Because, you know, I think we got a young Biden speaking tomorrow. But not any real news that is coming out recently. There was news from Apple today that they're going to do some kind of subscription service, likely like rent out their phones. I'm like, man, just when you think it's like the peak for Apple, there's something else. I have a question. Are borrowed shorts fixed or variable rate? If an institution borrowed last week at 3% and rate goes up to 10%, are they still at 3% or do they get bumped to 10%? It's usually like a HELOC, like a home equity line of credit. It's usually a variable rate. Like my and it's kind of like margin, right? Like when the situation develops differently, it'll change. Like even my margin rate went up 0.5% since this last Fed meeting. Like 2 days later, I think, like a day or two later, I think, maybe it was the next day, my rate went up. So it's more like a variable. I'm sure you can get different rates if you're different banks. You probably get preferable treatment, but or different funds for that matter. Big T, what's up? My Tilray got a Woody today. Yeah. I didn't go after Tilray, but I got Chronos, about $25 calls at 6 cents a piece, and it hit a high of I believe 460 in after hours. So if that thing goes crazy tomorrow, could be really good. Either way, I think it's gonna do well. I mean, you got some huge news on for the marijuana sector. Do you think SPY will dip, rip, or trade sideways tomorrow? Probably sell off, I would imagine. Like, a lot of this rally is simply shorts covering. And there's been a lot of reports recently. I'm stupid. There's been a lot of reports recently about the credit crunch. Like, if you just look at this, or liquidity crunch, whatever you want to call it. Analyst says investors see risk spiking, fear market-wide liquidity crunch. This was something I was talking about 3 months ago when we first knew kind of that the Fed was going to hawk down on inflation. I was talking about this probably in every video, if not every other video for a while. And you're finally starting to see it take hold. Like, if you're going to bet on like a commodity, oil or metals or anything really, everything as far as rates and cost to borrow has pretty much went up. You can see that on any stock. And then just everything. Like, people want more collateral when things are going crazy on a day-to-day basis. And you can see the SPY. Yeah, it says return shares 4.5 million, borrowed shares 2.88 million. So you're seeing a lot of the short interest. These numbers were different earlier. It was giving us a higher return share amount, but still, you're at like 50% more shorts covering than new short positions. So, holding into a weekend carries a higher level of risk. So during these volatile times, you'll probably see people dump on Fridays. If you don't, that's a really good sign. And that's something I'll be paying very close attention to. The bonds went down today, the bond prices. So yields went up. So that's a more normal correlation, which I was watching that. So that's it's not bullish, but it kind of is, because it's what should be happening. It's still not a great thing because rates are going up, but my first call today, kind of excited. Is it the MJ? It's squeeze season. Yeah. One that I'm looking at too, or Nile is getting a lot more attention, and they have an interesting business model with all their spin-offs and low market cap. And like with these Nile, this is not financial advice at all, but like if you wanted to buy a leap on this for January 19th, 2024, you could buy a dollar call for $58. I think that makes a whole lot of sense if you think it's going to move up. It's like the 5th or 6th most talked about stock in StockTwits and on Reddit. And I think it has not that much attention to it. So I think it could be personally good. I've been looking at it, but short interest is only 9.38% though. But it makes a lot of sense on a longer dated option like that. So I might pick up a couple of those tomorrow. A little sneak peek of something else that could do well. What was the expiration date for the Wii stock? That was 4/14. So April 14th. Let's go ahead and add a watch list. View watch list. Oh, I mean, these are newer contracts too, as of December. Kind of buying it at the bottom too. I don't know. I kind of like it. But it's a short squeeze season, that's for sure. Good fucking. Tilray has decent short interest too. Unless it changed since I looked at it. Yeah, almost 15% short interest. Utilization 78.60 or wow, 97.68%. Cost to borrow 5.37%. Cron doesn't have as high short interest, but 8.22%. But the options were so cheap, and I think they're probably gonna stay cheap comparatively to the other ones. Gap up on SPY, I think so, if the 160s and 162s will print. Interesting. Yeah, and I have a very interesting take on it that I'll talk about in just 1 second. Trades keeps saying all the squeeze are going to happen within a month, 3 months. Do you think it's true? Probably. I mean, you're kind of seeing that play out right now, and it all comes down to that liquidity situation. It's like, I wish I could put a quick example to it. But it's like when you see, I can't think of an example. I was trying to think of a real estate example. Like, if your neighbor's house are burning down because they all got bad electrical, you're probably going to change your electrical or fix that up, right? Weird example there, but kind of the same thing if you're shorting stocks and that sector's going crazy, this one's going crazy. You tend to see people try to tighten up a lot faster than not. So that does make sense. But at the same time, like I don't trust this rally because nothing has really changed. If anything, the situation has gotten worse. Like over the course of this rally, we went from pricing in what was it, 20% chance of a 50 basis point hike at the May meeting. Now we're at a 68% chance. So now we're pricing in a 0.5% rate hike. Markets have just went up. It looks like there's a lot of shorts covering, but I mean, you're expecting a lot more hawkishness from the Fed. You're expecting Europe to basically go into recession, almost guaranteed. Biden even said today, which the markets did not catch this, that he was talking about Europe, and kind of like addressed Putin today and said that he said it in a weird way, but basically that Europe could hold out another month before they would cave in, and kind of tried to retrace the statement. I think that was a little intel mess up there, but basically meaning they can handle these higher energy prices or a lack of energy imports from Russia for about a month, about 4 to 6 weeks. And I think that's gonna be a key to it too. Like, nothing has gotten better. That's really the main point. Nothing has gotten better, and until you see something give and the situation get good, just anything, any improvement, like war in Ukraine or Ukraine ends, that's bullish. I could trust a rally a little bit more if that happened. That would wipe out a lot of uncertainty. That looks to be the farthest thing from the truth. They're talking about nuclear attacks. Jake Sullivan just said 2 days ago that they're getting credible evidence that Russia might be preparing to use chemical weapons or a nuclear attack. Like, that's not good. That does not support a rally. So just be careful with what you guys are doing. I think it's a bear market rally, and you can have very violent upswings, especially when everybody's hedged out for the downside, and then, boom, things start to pop off. It can be really good. Just be nimble. Just be nimble. I think that's the best thing to do. Yeah, and they don't want to cover like AMC. That's the funniest thing about all of it. I'm glad you pointed that out, holder of the shares, because the the hedge funds, they don't want to cover AMC. They have no problem covering on other stocks, but when it comes to AMC, for whatever reason, you're not seeing that. Like I seen and I don't know who exactly said. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat today, but talking about the guy that lost his mind, that's crazier than Lou. I watched him. I remember we were talking about him last night. I don't even remember his name, but I watched the video about saying that ring the register or whatever. The shorts have been covering and all of this. And I watched that video, and then I start looking at the return shares, and nothing. There was nothing for yesterday, like very little, and it's delayed 2 days. So then I'm like, okay, we'll wait to see what the next day brings, because that would be March 22nd. Nothing. Return shares 984,000. Borrowed shares 3.35 million. They're not covering. There's no data that is showing that. Forget his name. I don't know what his name is, but I'm like, what? Like they're not covering. And 2 days ago for AMC, if you guys didn't watch the video earlier, was a 15% day. Like if shorts, covered, you would see some reflection in that. There was 81 million shares that traded hands. We were up 15.13%. That would be the day where you first seen shorts covering. We'll see tomorrow what it comes in for that 170 million share day, but there's nothing representing that. So yeah, they don't want to cover on AMC for whatever reason. DD or text, please. Yeah, I got you. Aren't they going to like the OTC soon? Didn't they get delisted? 1.35% short interest. Cost to borrow max of 3.34%. Utilization of 8.87%. Yeah, DD is there was a lot of that delisting news. So whenever you hear about something getting delisted, odds are that people are going to sell out. But that's where you can make a lot of money if you are willing to take that risk, but a lot of people aren't. So just comes down to that risk to reward. Super Show's working on getting that free membership. There we go. That's good. That puts more pressure on Russia. Yeah, Germany gets like 50% of their natural gas from Russia. So they have a bigger problem actually doing that. And there was people talking about oil. And granted, they were saying this the first time around just a couple weeks ago. Oil to $200 a barrel if Europe does ban energy imports from Russia tomorrow. We should get news about that. We should get some kind of headlines there. And if that happens, $200 barrels of oil, I'm buying a fucking horse. Hell no. Oh, that would be like $8, $9, $10 a gallon of gas. Y'all are crazy. I drive too much for that. Going in hard on the April 22nd Tilray $10 calls. Yeah, just not financial advice, not a recommendation, but it seems like it could be the typical buy the rumors, sell the news kind of event. So if you can, what I would like to do is at least make contracts free heading into over the weekend, because you never know what Monday will bring. If you get a solid bag and you're up hundreds of percents, you can sell out just a couple couple contracts, a smaller position, and hold some for free. Interest rate please. 3.34% cost to borrow. Maybe to 30 tomorrow. Yeah, but we really just seen a consolidation day today. And if you really look at it, I mean, I'm very happy with what we've seen today. You know, people are going to have their own opinions on it, but this could have been a lot worse. And the fact that we did come down to 1886 and then instantly found demand and straight back up to 21 at the same time, shorts are not covering. And in my personal opinion, there's less of that manipulation of our orders being routed to, say, the dark pool. You know, that's probably still happening, but with that probe that's going on, like, you can't really do that if they're directly watching the order flows now. And maybe I'm giving the SEC too much credit here, but hopefully they're doing that. The like button, family. I second that. But yeah, the fact we weren't down like 10% or at least closed down, you know, crazy high amounts is really, really good. And it looks like that consolidation that, you know, was inevitably going to happen, but could have been a lot worse. And the option activity is quite insane, honestly. Yesterday, okay, it does this weird thing where it switches over before midnight. I don't know if this thing's set on a different like time zone, or I think it's on military time. I don't know what, but yesterday you had $60 million of option flows, interesting option flows from institutional investors, and a 90% positive order value. And today you've seen a 64% positive order value, 51 orders, and about $20 million. So in the past 2 days, you're seeing more money flowing into AMC options than you have seen in a whole week for a very long time. And just the 1 week, check this out. It's kind of wild. 232 orders in the past week of interesting option flow. $111 million worth with a positive order value of 77%. Doesn't get much crazier than that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual options here, though. Yeah, if we could see a strong day tomorrow. 4,200 for open interest at the $20.50 strike, about 10,000 at the 21, 5,800 at the 21.50, almost 14,000 at the 22, 10,000 at the 23. I mean, you could run, especially with these that are expiring tomorrow. They would have to see that instant hedging. And look at the volume. Jeez, 21,000, 31,000, 13,000, 21,000. That's insane. For the first 3 or 4 strikes just out the money. Wow. Looks good. Actually, let's pull that up. Yeah, and even if we have a sideways day tomorrow, I mean, I think that sets us up for that next move up for sure. But look at all these green days. We only had one day since March 15th where we were down 0.25%. Every other day was a pretty big move to the upside besides today. Kind of insane. And then isn't Crim Jamer saying to buy AMC? I think I seen him say that on the lightning round today. Andy said to buy SoFi not too long ago. I'm like, man, why do you gotta say that? It's a Kramer effect. Every time he says buy something, people short it. Fucker. Yeah, SNDL. SNDL, I looked at that earlier. kind of that one's fucking crazy. 11.5% short interest, cost to borrow of 15.41%, utilization of 96.69%, and what's the option flows like? Yeah, 100% positive order value, $47,000 worth. And it looks like a January 2024 $2 strike call. And that was a sweep, so they wanted to get into it as fast as possible. Somebody bought? Oh, that's kind of crazy. Wow, look at that. One buy. And in the past 12 months, Sundial Growers has had a positive insider flow. $45,000 worth of a buy and $10.81K worth of a sell. That's funny. That's kind of cool, actually. Interesting. Very interesting. Jamie is going to be a super missile on Monday. HYMC. Something, I think that came up on the scanner earlier. Yeah, 30% move. This looks like a big consolidation phase, too. You know, you're not really coming down to those levels. If you did, it would be down to this likely this 20-day simple moving average right here. This is the Bollinger Bands. That's a wild spread. Like that's lots of volatility. The Bollinger Bands in this are insane. What's the short interest on it? Have I even looked at that? Yeah, that 24% short interest. Jeez. That's wild. Cost to borrow max of 75.45%. Utilization of 94.12%. Nothing too crazy there. Options, 0% positive order value. See, why would you even buy puts on something that is down that much? And institutions, I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Do you really watch CNBC? I watch pretty much everything. I like to get a lot of different inputs. I don't believe anyone directly. Like, you know, when somebody says something's going to happen, like $200 barrel of oil, I don't believe that's going to be the case necessarily. But it's I like to try to imagine how that theory would play out, how markets would take that information and see if it makes sense. But even then, it's like, you know, just comparing a lot of other theories with my own to come up with a better thought process, I guess. But I don't really believe any of them. They all have their own reasonings of saying shit. Like, why do you think the weed stocks popped so much today? And then we had got that one announcement. Where is it again? Yeah, House panel to consider bill to decriminalize marijuana Monday. And then 15 minutes after market close, Senate passes bill to expand medical research on marijuana. Like, you don't think Congress was in on that? No way they weren't. Because with SNDL, seen it dump. Yeah, I've watched all these penny stocks dump. Like the first time I traded a weed stock, I lost money. And that was back in like 2018. And it was ACB. So there's been many rounds of the cannabis hype sector, and that's all it really is. Like the people that are going to dominate the cannabis sector are the likely, and I hate to say it, but likely like the big tobacco companies that package like a bunch of pre-rolls and cigarette cartons like when it becomes legal or things like that. Like big money always has a way of trying to push out the small guys, and it's happening right now already. But this thing's ACB, Aora Cannabis, has had a lot of it's had splits and stuff. But yeah, when was this? 2018? Yeah. I got tricked during this time. I don't remember exactly when, but it was in between 2017 and 2018 in here. They got me, man. I said, dude, tomorrow, if it's squeezed, we finish above 20, I will lose my brain. It's game fucking over. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or if you're being legit. These are created by a 5-day event followed by contracts being covered on Monday. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. Yeah, that's a good one. In my eyes, the squeeze doesn't start until they cover. Yeah, and they're just not. Eventually, they'll be forced to. Every rate hike, things like that, will continue to help. Yeah, I kind of talked about Highcroft mining. I don't know if there's like a certain catalyst that is coming up or something, but it's decent. They have assets in the ground. If they can start pulling them out, it's good. And that's all that really matters. That would be a reason to get the shorts out, but it's connected to AMC again. So, I mean, you might see a reluctancy for shorts to actually cover. The last thing they want is AMC to make a huge bag on HYMC. AMC, HYMC. I see what they did there. Add the pressure to one area, not 20. I have $300 disposal. I might throw it in SNDL. See, I would just be careful, because it's one of those, like, these companies are more likely to fail than not, and these rallies can be very aggressive, but they can also go away pretty fast. The move that we've seen, though, like 22% on Tilray in regular trading and then 17.5% in after hours, that's a wild move. And it held a lot of strength pretty much the entire after hours. So can be good, but so trying to make every stock moon retail needs to focus. I think I think they pretty much are focused. Like, I don't think people are selling AMC or GameStop, and there's a lot of just activity on them. Like, the volume on these contracts are insane, and the money goes in like waves. Like, sometimes it's cool to be over here, and then over here, and then over here. And I really don't make a huge difference when it comes down to it. Like if I say I'm getting into a trade, like, I mean, my trade is pathetic compared to my AMC position that hasn't done anything. I put $120 into Cron. That's it. I mean, I'm up 66.67%, but it's a tiny amount. So that's really what I try to advocate for, is turn a small amount into a large amount with these trades. Not a large amount into a larger amount. That will never work in the longer term trading strategy. But yeah, AMC's definitely doing some interesting things. I wanted to look at Gamestop's cost to borrow. Somebody pointed that out earlier. I didn't look at that today though. Yeah, look at that. Cost to borrow max of almost 40%. Utilization still at 100%. Jeez. Oh my gosh. And I heard more people were buying. I think Unusual Whales tweeted that out. More directors or insiders of some form. Let me just go to his Twitter. Favorite of Tilray. Oh, that's delicious. Where's it at? Yeah, GME board member Elaine et al. Purchased 1,500 GameStop shares. Larry Cheng and Ryan Cohen bought shares earlier this week. And that's from the SEC. So, I mean, there's probably a reason why they're doing that. It might be some kind of announcement or something. Maybe they're just trying to pump it up, but oh, look at that. A new report is incoming. Get ready. Numerous politicians have been buying weed tickers prior to decriminalization bill Monday. Josh Gottenheimer bought Abbevie numerous times in February, as did Virginia Fox buying Mo. Altria does have some exposure. I believe they own Cron. I don't think Abbevie has any exposure to weed, though. I own that stock. That's a pharma stock. I mean, they might, but what is the what's that stock? Let's squeeze this puppy to the frickin' moon, baby. I second that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you. Let's do it. Oh, man. That'll be a great day. That'll be a great day. And see, I learned the hard way. Now I'm diversifying. Yeah, and there's like a just depends what kind of investor you wanna be. Is it Zynerba? Like I'm fully involved with all these trades. Oh, that's cute. I'm fully involved with all these trades, but I plan to be in the markets for a long time, so I own a lot of different stocks. And once you've been in the markets for a while, you can just build up positions. Like, you could build up positions in other things slowly over time. And even if you have a shit ton of AMC, you don't have to sell that to start building other positions. You could build out other positions and still have massive exposure to AMC at the same time, and trade other stocks to it. And that's kind of what I've done. Went from smaller holdings of $1,000 a piece in like 15-20 different stocks. Now it's like $5,000 a piece in the average holding. AMC's definitely got a good majority of that, but other stocks even, 5,000, allocation. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But where is it? I'm looking for this pharmaceutical. Zynerba, wasn't it? Zynerba. I traded this a while back. I wonder if that, yeah, look at that. Yeah, okay. Up 14% in after hours. This is a provision of pharmaceutically produced transdermal cannabinoid therapies, a focus on the research and development of rare and near-rare neuropsychiatric conditions. The firm offers the Zygel product, which is formulated as a permission enhanced gel for transdermal delivery. I traded this a while back, but the market cap's really low, and with what's going on now, you know, it could give it more hype, and I had like 2 shares, so I wouldn't even call it like trading it, but this thing used to be a lot higher. I might do some more research on it, see if it's worth taking a trade, but yeah, $250 call for $15. Not too shabby. It's gonna crack your brain. It's just a distraction. Because GME's CEO is superior. I like the guy. He's definitely puts his money where his mouth is, like he said on Twitter. No doubt about that. Get dark mode. Turn on dark mode, bro. For what? I used to put all in and oh yeah, diversify. Wish I knew how to do options. It's basically just leverage. You know, it's how do I describe it? Pretty much just leverage. There's a lot of different factors that go into them. Really, the biggest thing is like learning how to value the options and trying to find good value in options. Like that comes down to time decay, how a stock can move. You know, these more meme stocks can be violent, right? So you can value them, and people do value the contracts higher because they can move more comparatively to something like a Walmart or something else. And I actually like trades like Snapchat or Abivai or other stocks that don't move around all too much because the markets don't expect them to. So when they do, you can get paid out massively. But you know, more meme stocks are cool too, but you know, there's so much to learn with options. It's not something you can learn quickly. Unfortunately, it's like a dedicate your time to it, and you'll definitely do well with them. April is money month for the market. Get your positions ready and sit back. Your money print. Yeah, April's usually a pretty decent month for the markets. The worst month for the markets is September. And we had no January rally this year. Fuckers. They left. They ran for the hills. Said Mullen. Mullen can move. I'm surprised they haven't issued more shares, honestly, yet. I was kind of expecting them to above $3 if the momentum kind of started to wane, which it kind of looks like it is right now, or at least taking a break here. That's the only question. Like I think it will go higher if they don't issue more stock. And that's kind of what you got to ask yourself, because if they issue more shares, the stock's going to fall at least, I would imagine, 10%. And it's usually like a 1-to-1 ratio most of the time. But more hypey stocks can drop more, right? Because it's harder to actually put a valuation on the companies. But usually, if a company issues like 10% more shares, you'll dilute the stock price by about 10%. Sometimes it's like 12% the stock will fall, but it's roughly in that range. Unless, again, it's hard to value the company and there's no real valuation support. But I think it can be good still. Where do you think AMC will go tomorrow? Price AMC. I honestly don't have a huge opinion on tomorrow. It might just be a slight consolidation day. Then again, we've been seeing big moves even today, like intraday. 1886 straight back up to $20. 57 cents. That's a $2 move right there. That's a big move, and I do expect to see a lot of that. But the more we see demand and the more we can remain above 20, it's looking good in that regard. But it really comes down to are we going to see fear, especially the last hour of trading, and see people dump out of stocks? Because like fund managers, people like that, that maybe bought AMC, right? Because not everybody's going to be short on the stock. Some people are like us, and they're going to think, even hedge funds, they're like, why would you short this stock? Some people are thinking the same thing. Like, you're really going to short a stock that's already fallen so much from the highs? So some of those guys likely won't want to be in it over the weekend, and then they could get back into it on Monday. That's what happens a lot during volatility. That's why you see those end of the day dumps, especially on Friday often. But if we don't, these aren't meme stocks anymore. No, they're really not. I mean, AMC and Gamestop, they're really not at these valuations. They're not that stretchy at all. I don't like calling them meme stocks, but I guess it was a lack of a better word thing. The GameStop Reddit is very strong. We'll channel money into AMC after they squeeze GME on GMC earnings and calls and voice chats on Reddit. These guys are actually very collected and controlled. Yeah, GameStop has a very interesting valuation if they can execute on the NFT platform. Like, OpenSea is worth twice the amount of GameStop. So if they can execute on that, then get a market share of that. It's going to be really good on a fundamental basis. Not even to mention where the short interest is. At 25.8%, get out of here. Like, come on now. These people are crazy. With a 6 days to cover. What are you doing, people? Same story too. Like, look, return shares, almost 200,000. Borrowed shares, 1.31 million. What did GameStop go up March 22nd? Like 20-some%, something like that, maybe more. %30.72%. They've lost their marbles. They've lost their touch. They don't get it. Wow, GameStop. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positive days in a row. That doesn't happen too often for any stock. Besides Apple. Almost. Appreciate you. Another question. What do you think about SNLU? I bought 200, and that's 2. SNLU. Or SNDL? Is that what it was supposed to be? SNLU. I don't see the ticker for that one. Shares on the Google or Amazon split in the next few months. I mean, I'm personally not, just because it doesn't change things all too much. I'm not sure what SNLU ticker is. I couldn't find it. Oh, Sundial. Oh, I mean, throwing out a little bit of money here and there, it as long as it's not gonna break the bank, and you don't mind losing it. Worst comes to worst, um, it's not bad. It's not something that I would actually have a lot of faith or confidence in, if that makes sense. Like, these cycles with weed just come and go until you see like something go somewhere, like they can start selling their products in America, or anything like that, something fundamentally changes, then these rallies, they're not going to hold up too much. The risk for share lenders, hence, yeah, percent hike, yep. Facebook 220 calls for tomorrow, 0 days to expiration. Holy hell. Yeah, that it's recovered quite a bit, huh? 2.86% today. Facebook's an interesting one. We said 220. Fuck it, dude. I'm down. I'm down. XRT rebalancing should have been today. Still on the reg show list. Yeah, Nvidia today, dude. That one was crazy. Sorry, tick. SNDL. Think about Vuzix. I've heard a lot about them, but I have no idea. Like, aren't they like a TV? Aren't they like a TV? I think I've seen Vuzix TVs before, if that's the same Vuzix. What about Tilray, Shane? Pfft, blew my damn mind. Vuzix? I didn't expect that move here and after hours. That news was kind of crazy, though. They're going to research medical, or cannabis for medical properties. That's kind of big. Variable devices that offer a portable viewing experience provide solutions for mobility, wearing displays, and augmented reality. What? The firm also holds 179 patents and patents pending in numerous IP licenses. The video eyewear field has offices in Rochester, New York, Oxford, UK, Tokyo, Japan. Huh. Do they like make the VR headsets? Because I mean, I think that could do pretty well into the future. Have you guys seen is the movie called First Player One? I believe it's on HBO Max. I just watched it like 2 nights ago, and it's kind of like the metaverse, like video games, like the meta world, and that would be crazy. Seem kind of cool. If they could pull that off from the movie in real life, I could get down with it. I could get down with it. Tell me at least one of you guys have seen that movie, so you know what I'm talking about. Badass movie. Ready Player One. Yeah, that sounds more familiar. Yeah, I just watched it like 2 nights ago. I'm like, man, like that actually kind of got me excited for the metaverse, to be honest. Sweeties play the most attention. The stock you've obsessed over for months. Oh, we do. I think there's opportunities everywhere, though. Like, I'm fully positioned for AMC. GameStop, though, I would like a little bit more, or I really don't have any exposure to it besides AMC. You know, they're kind of like two peas in a pod to a certain extent, but GameStop looks pretty interesting here too. Like, that cost to borrow number is wild. 25.8% short interest, and the days to cover is a little bit higher. I think they're relatively speaking going to do somewhat of the same things. It would be nice if Adam Aaron put some of his profits to good use buying more AMC shares, but just buy like 5,000, Adam. Like, that's it. Just do that so we can get a little bit of a competition going. Benefit everybody. Like, those 5,000 shares will probably make you more by boosting up the share price of the stock. I would bet that. Nasty. I had 76 puts yesterday on Tilray, then sold 70 yesterday and made 160 on that, and then had free 6, then sold out of those this morning at Bell. Missed the train on the calls at the end of the day today. Ballooned. Yeah, that was that news was like perfectly timed for 15 minutes after the market closed. The whole like one of the best things that could have been announced as far as news for the cannabis industry. Kind of wild. I got Kron, dude. I should have got the Tilray, but they were more expensive. I got the Kron though, the $5 calls, 20 of them for April 14th. Kind of exciting to see what they do tomorrow, but I don't have super high expectations when it comes down to it. But I think it'll be decent either way. Hopefully we wake up and then everything's just looking really good. Who knows though? Who knows? Tilray is another animal though. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Gonna buy back my GME cover calls first thing tomorrow a.m. Ooh, you have GME cover calls. There you go. What's that? To acquire 100 shares of Gamestop now. Ain't that like a... Excuse my smooth brain, but... How much is GameStop right now anyways? 142. Yeah, they've come up a lot. Like 14,000? Yeah, $14,000. That's sizable. Bet you get some good premium for GameStop covered calls too. Yeah, that's nasty. Oh my gosh. Like a $200 cover call with a $5.50 premium, $550. That is not bad. By the way, Tyler, how is Ling Ling? Ling Ling. She's being a Ling Ling. she's pretty good. She loves to every time I got the camera on and I'm talking, it's like I'm opening candy or something. She loves it. But I actually don't have her right now though. I gotta teach her how to say AMC to the moon. Or just start with AMC. I'll just get that down first. She can say her sister's name. She can count. Like, she'll do like 1, 2, 3. She's 18 months. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is this right? Oh, the cannabis. Oh, what the? Advisor shares trust. Advisor shares pure cannabis ETF. Huh? Short. It says 0.35% short interest. I feel like I've heard of this before, but I didn't know it was cannabis related. It doesn't look like any crazy activity on Ortex. 48.68 thousand shares sold short. Yeah, it looks like the short interest stays really low on it for the most part. Say versus Mexico game. Admiral hates himself from getting back in Neo tomorrow. Stop fixating on new penny stocks you hear about and convince yourself have worth. It's gonna be okay. It's okay. It's okay, Evergreens. I feel you. I feel you on that. I bought an iPhone and don't know how to use this shit. He bought an iPhone. That's good. That's good. He said, I don't know how to use it. So you were an Android guy. I like Apple products, though. They're made in China. China. It feels amazing not FOMOing in and being the sophisticated early investor. Yeah, I've been patiently waiting while AMC just crushed my portfolio. It's all right though. I got patience. Like I know what's coming. Like it doesn't even phase me at this point. I think I'm down like 50% because I bought so much in the 40s. But I've made a lot of money back by selling covered calls. Look at the data on tomorrow's calls on Jim. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The data's gonna be crazy. GameStop, something with high premium like that, high volatility. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh fuckers. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Look at the implied volatility too for those. I bit the shit out of my cheek. It hurts. Do you think AMC will go to $30 or $35 tomorrow? Phew. That would be nice. That would be solid. I mean, I wouldn't like, bet the house on it, but anything's possible. That's for sure. Yeah, if we can get above 22 though, it's that's what he said, everything's made in China. That's true. Good point. Everything is made in China. Yeah, but if we can get past that 22 dollar level that we were struggling around, is that yesterday? Like it was a clear fight at 22. Like the two times right here, 22 flat, 22 flat, a little bit of rejection around there, and right here too. Fighting, finally got the break, pushed straight back down. So if we can really break out above 22, in my opinion, that previous level from yesterday tomorrow, that's going to be really good. And it wouldn't surprise me to see the cannabis sector set off the short squeeze more. I don't know, it's meme stocks. I don't like calling them that, but I don't know the ape stocks. Okay, we'll go with that. Is it set up like in June? Yeah. Oh yeah. It's set up almost perfectly. I mean, if you're looking at comparables, Short interest, roughly the same. But you've had a lot of time to see a lot of the basically like the IOUs. The way that I look at it is, you know, they're going to collect their money, and they're going to issue stock when people want to buy the stock, even if people are not willing to sell the stock. So then all you basically have to do in that aspect is make sure that you are able to deliver at the certain price that you want to sell it. Have you ever seen a physical share before? No. You buy shares on your phone, and all you're doing is buying the price of a security. You don't own the shares in your portfolio. Like, theoretically you do. Have you ever seen them before? No. They just have to give you the shares at the price of which you bought them, or the spot price. Kind of like buying crypto on Robinhood. You never own the crypto. It's not there. Now they have the wallet. So maybe a little bit of a different analogy now, but all they ever had to do was give you the money in which you wanted to sell out of your crypto on Robinhood. That's all that mattered, and that's kind of what you're seeing going on here as well. But yeah, a lot of the variables are definitely the same. I mean, look at the free flow out on loan, 26%. 7 days ago, it was 26.24%. Nothing has really changed. Short interest, 21.35%. Shares that are sold short of 110 million. Cost to borrow numbers going back up. Utilization, 100%. A lot of the same data that we've seen, but the difference is between June and now, what is, I think, a very bullish thing is the days to cover is much higher now. And usually, right, you'll see the days to cover will be at a very high level, and then let's get some of this stuff out of here. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just have the days to cover up here. Yeah, so back here when nobody liked the stock, days to cover would be really high. Once people liked the stock, the days to cover obviously went down because there was more volume. And then once you see the first rally, days to cover goes from a high point of 2.43 days, and then down to about half a day, and then back up to about 1.5 days, and then back down again. Now you're back up to 2.87 days. That's the highest level we've ever seen since AMC became popular. Before we've ever seen a squeeze. So I think it's really good. We'll turn a $200 contract into a $20,000 contract. Yeah, that would be solid. Yeah, meme stock is pretty disrespectful. Yeah, it doesn't sound right too. Just the ape stocks. Do you notice the alts on AMC and now? Yeah, LG physical stock. Yeah. Back in the day, you used to get a paper stock. That's kind of cool. Can we go back to paper certificates? Like when we buy a share, obviously on our phones, can we get the? Can we just get something in the mail to verify that we own the stock? That would be cool. That'd be cool. I'm also weird and I like to collect different currency. That's kind of like that. Old days with paper shares. Yeah, no. I kind of like the idea, but still trading on the phone or the computer or whatever. We've been jerked around so much, I won't believe we're squeezing until over 200. Yeah, that's going to be the craziest thing is when you actually see shorts covering, it's like, what's going to happen? Are you going to move up dollars at a time? You would think so. Look at what we've been doing, and really no shorts have been covering. Return shares 1 million, borrowed shares of 3.67 million. These motherfuckers refuse to cover. They're gonna be forced out of their positions. And it's funny because the same thesis I've had forever now is finally starting to slowly come to fruition. It's been a slow process, but the liquidity crunch that I was talking about, that's a long time ago. That's coming to fruition. You're seeing people finally talking about a liquidity crunch. Sounded like a broken record at that point, but that's the biggest thing in my personal opinion. That's what makes shorts actually get forced to cover, you know. They're never going to cover until they go bankrupt. Yeah. I got 5 rubles for you, Tyler. I'm rich. I'm rich. Actually, can I trade that for a Dogecoin? I think that'll buy you a Doge. That's crazy. 5 rubles. Get you a Doge. 5 rubles used to get you... back in '08, it was like 20 some rubles per US dollar. So that would get you like a lot more than it does now. Yeah, I actually do like the look of Russian currency. Canadian money's pretty cool too. All colorful and whatnot. Yeah, margin call. I like that. I like that movie. Watch Billions. Huh. I'm gonna have to check that out. I like Shark Tank. I watch that from time to time. I don't watch a lot of TV though, or like anything. Let's compare to any other broker in the game. Yeah, Robinhood has terrible fills for options. Like it's really not a good brokerage for trying to trade things quickly. Like I do a lot of just swing trading through Robinhood. Like if I want to get faster fills, like Weeble's the place to get faster fills, or like a E-Trade or Thinkorswim or something. That's gonna get you like a quick in and out trade, and it's worth paying 65 cents to open, 65 cents to close a contract when they're saving you a couple dollars on just your fills alone. Like sometimes Robinhood won't even fill you at the price that it says you should get filled at, like the ask or whatnot. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to pay what somebody is willing to sell them for, and you will not fill me. There was a Shark Tank 2 miles from my house called the Golf. The Golf? And will the FCC stop the squeeze? FCC won't let me be, so everybody just follow me. Get a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. This looks like that time for me, so everybody. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, like, I don't think they're gonna pull like a Russia on us and just close it down for days, But expect to see a lot of halts. Like the only time they really will like shut something down like that is ripping, going crazy, is when there's manipulation involved. When the insiders or somebody else directly related to the company is like manipulating the stock, and a lot of the times that happens in penny stocks, and they really never get shut down anyways. Like what's the last stock that you really heard of that actually got shut down? Like when it was squeezing a lot for days at a time. The company can halt their shares, and like Biogen, they halted their shares for like I believe it was like 11 o'clock maybe 3 months ago, when they had news coming out, halted them for the rest of the day, and then they opened up the next day. So the company can actually halt their own shares, but you don't really see stocks that are shut down for days on end, unless there's some kind of manipulation. But that rarely happens. Nickel for nickel. It that's a good argument. That's a really good argument. I mean, I would argue that it would be a lot harder, I guess, to pull that off in America. Like, the backlash that happened last time. Like, you don't want to be on the Robinhood. Like what Robinhood did ended their business in the long term. At least in the way that they wanted Robinhood to become. Like, that stains your whole reputation. So when it comes down to it, who the hell wants to halt that? Like, it would have to be like the SEC, FCC, or anybody else that has the power to do that. But if they don't have a reason to do that, then they can't. Nickel gets halted. Well, I should say commodities will just halt the whole day. Like wheat would limit halt up, which is going up like 7%, I believe, to get a limit halt, and that'll stop trading for the whole day. So commodities are a little bit different. I can argue that they'll just halt the whole day if it goes up like 7%, and you've seen that happen a lot. So but nickel, yeah, they did halt it because to try to let some shorts get out of their positions. But that was wild. That was like that was crazy. That like never happens. But yeah, that's like GameStop. Like nothing really would have stopped GameStop the first time, but Robinhood, and other. Was it just Robinhood? I think it was just Robinhood that disabled the buy button at first. Yeah, they dropped it down to 45,000. Yeah, it's pure manipulation on their end. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, but 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000. I mean, anything's theoretically possible, but I think people would be happier with a lot less than that, honestly, when it comes down to it. Like, when everything's said and done, like, if you get insanely rich, I don't think you're going to care what the actual final price is. And that's the thing. We've never seen something like this. We've never seen a whole community get behind buying and holding a stock, seeing shorts that refuse to cover. Doesn't matter what happens. Doesn't matter what the business is doing or the state of the market. Interest rates going crazy. Margin rates going up. Hedge funds getting blown up in commodities. Like, hedge funds are getting blown up in these commodities. Like, nickel, great example. Those were hedge funds getting completely blown up. That's what that was. They were getting blown up. Had no choice but to call it quits and cease to exist. And so we've really never seen anything like this. And I don't want to set really high expectations. I also don't want to say we're going to like $50 or $100 because the data shows we're definitely going a lot higher than that, right? We've never really seen a short squeeze. And put this into perspective, that say the short interest last time was like, what, 24%, 25%, something like that. I don't remember the exact number, somewhere around there. And you've seen the short interest drop down to about 20%, and that's where you've seen that first initial move. And then you've seen the short interest go from about 20% to about 16%, and that's where you've seen a bigger move. But the last 15, 10% of short interest is going to cause the biggest move, because that's when things really start to get crazy. That's when people tend to FOMO in the most. Like, people don't want to touch stocks when they're before the attention hits. But, once something's mid squeeze, it's like people can't resist. So that's also another aspect of it. We've never had a stock that had this much attention before and this many people knew about as a potential short squeeze trade. And what we're seeing right now, that's retail investors. I can only imagine the kind of FOMO that we are going to see when this thing actually starts to squeeze and shorts really start to cover. The very last minute of tomorrow will be insane volume on AMC. They're $21.99 or $19.99. Will be back and forth. The stock ain't tanking tomorrow. No, I don't really think it'll tank either tomorrow. Like, tanking to me, though, I should define that. Tanking to me, like, if I think something tanked is like a 20% drop or even a 15% drop. A 10% drop, really bad. A 5% drop is like a normal day in my eyes. Like, if we fell 5% today, it's not great, but that would still be, in my view, a consolidation day. But that didn't even happen. That didn't even happen. I think we were down over that at one point, but lots of strength. So where do you think the price will go straight up and not hold? Think it's straight up on AMC? I think it's it's not just gonna go straight up. That's the thing. Like you're not gonna wake up one day and it's gonna go to $1,000, right? That's probably not gonna happen, because to get to those prices, you're gonna see so many halts along the way. You're just gonna drain the clock, and kind of a good thing at the same time, because if we can keep going up through all those halts, that's gonna convince a lot more people to FOMO in. But I don't even think it matters. They're gonna FOMO in either way. But yeah, I think it'll take some time, but you'll probably see them just start to let the thing move. Like, sometimes the exchanges will let things move a little bit more before they start to halt them. I forget what it is. It's like some kind of mathematical like volatility calculation. If a stock does something within like a 2 or 5 minute period, they automatically halt the stock. But sometimes they just let things keep going. Forget what it is. Yeah, what triggers a volatility halt? Volatility halts trigger when shares exceed 5% of the ATPR for Tier 1 national market systems. Listed securities on the S&P 500 and Russell 2000 priced above $3 per share between 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time market hours, and 10% of the first 15 minutes and last 25 minutes of market hours. So there's like a mathematical equation. That's why you can see like Tilray, they went up a lot today, but didn't get halted at all. But they went up a lot. But they didn't go straight up. It was a gradual climb. So if we can see like this, a gradual climb, when the squeeze actually starts, that's going to be really good. And that's likely what it'll be at first. When you see the smaller guys covering, that's driving up the share price like this, the large guys aren't going to step in and all cover at the same time and cause those halts to just back to back. It's going to be when they get forced out of their positions after this slow and steady climb, in my personal opinion. So I think it's going to take a couple days. I think it's going to take some time, but I'm very bullish. But in reality, I think people would be happier with a lot less than what people actually say they want, Like if you make $1 million, like are you gonna be like upset about that? I hope not, because you could sit on your ass for the rest of your life and make 30 grand. So it's good. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. But I really don't know how high it could go. I've tried to do like, the calculations behind it, but it's all about the velocity. If people are really not willing to sell, and they're not willing to sell at lower prices, which probably theoretically wouldn't be the case if they're not even willing to sell it on days like today, then you could go really high. Especially, when you get forced liquidations and shorts don't have a choice but to cover, that's where you start to see a lot of problems. Because like before in June, that 14%, 16% short interest, whatever the real legal number actually was, it doesn't even matter too much in that range. Those are the guys that had enough money to service their margin calls, that had the money to put up. If they would have let the stocks just keep trading without doing what they did, it would have got to that point where they would have been forced to cover. And then it's like, what happens when those guys, the whales, get forced to cover billions of dollars within minutes? Like, that's when shit can get really crazy. And what happens during volatility halts, especially once shorts actually start to cover, and once you actually see, like, when there's no doubt shorts are covering, like what we seen in after hours, that was not short. That was not shorts covering. That was not shorts covering. Maybe some small guys, couple thousand shares here and there, nothing to move the needle. When the shorts are actually covering, you're going to see it move dollars at a time. You'll know the difference. And that's when I think people are just not really going to want to sell. I think there's going to be a lack of sellers at that point. Yeah, don't short the like button. Shorting the like button is equivalent of shorting AMC stock. Did you guys know that? Fun fact. Honestly, like thinking back to 801 days and yet no one's covered. Like they're so over leveraged in this trade. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like that's what I wanted to say with that whole rant was back in 2021, it was liquidity city. The Fed was your friend. There was endless money going out, right? It was a good time. It was a good time in the markets. You did well if you were buying the dip around those times. Well, it's a different story now. It's a much different story now. That's why you see Tilray up this much and other stocks that just rally. They just run. I said fun fact, huh? Algorithm keep tracking everything. Yeah, those algorithms are nasty. Sometimes it's like, dude, the algorithms are insane. Like sometimes you'll be listening to like what Biden or somebody is saying that's like an important, or the Fed. The Fed's a good example. Like those algorithms are looking at all those words they're saying and deciding what to do, right? Sometimes you'll hear the worst statement ever. Like it'll sound so bad, and same time you'll be watching the chart, big ass green candle. Like what the fuck? That was bad no matter which way you put it. Crazy. Those algorithms are ridiculous. That's why only like 18 people at Citadel Securities have ever been able to see the algorithm and know how it works. It's one of the most secretive things, like pretty much ever. Someone likes so I can be like number 69. Pulls back hard. I'll grab another 15. Yeah, that would be solid. Just pull back for like one day and just let us load up at like $10 again. That's very wishful thinking, but just one day will do. Just one day. This man knows what he's talking about. No, is he talking respect? And what are you talking secret? Are you talking secret algorithms? Just like Citadel's algorithm, like there's a lot of different algorithms out there that are programmed to do different things, but sometimes it's like they get used to people expecting a certain thing, so they change it up, and just a lot of, I guess, things that shouldn't happen. A lot of that kind of shit happens. Like some places totally, in the flash crash of 87, they actually banned algorithmic trading because it was just causing things to go crazy, sell everything into the ground. I was talking GME shares. Yeah, GameStop. I would like some exposure to that. The calls are crazy though, so you need to see a big move. Actually, let's compare real quick what the implied volatility is. Yeah, the implied volatility is crazy on GameStop. Insane. But let's see, April 14th. The IV, like something. See, if I was actually gonna buy calls, though, I mean, it's tough. I might kind of like ladder it and spread it out like a. Jeez, yeah, the premiums are insane. But like I would probably do something like a $300 April 14th call and then go out to like a June just to try to mix it up because you never really know. But yeah, the premiums are insane. But yeah, implied IV for June, 130% for what, about 100% out the money? That's crazy. That's wild. And implied volatility does go up, but these premiums are nuts. But right at the money, that's what you want to look at. 145, 114% IV. Yeah, GameStop has slightly more implied volatility than AMC. Interesting. Very interesting. You could get some nasty debit spreads on here too. It looks like if you could get filled on them. SpaceX asked me to come in for an interview. We said straight to the moon. Now SpaceX want to hire me. It's funny, SpaceX. Maybe they sell the 10 million, they have to lower the price and buy back the 10 million to cover and repeat. Yeah, a lot of that stuff happens, but just on such a fast scale. I just I don't know. We're gonna live through something crazy here. I hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys are ready. Gotta go get some Bud Light. You won't be tired. Yeah, that sounds pretty good right now. I'm gonna get off here and do what David summoned me to do. Get some Bud Light. You know what I'm saying. So thank you guys for tuning in. The futures, NASDAQ down a little bit. Oil actually down too. What? Yeah, oil down just a little bit. 0.05%. NASDAQ down 0.09%. S&P up a little bit. Dow up a little bit. I don't trust the futures too much. Anything can change. Young Biden, though, I believe he speaks tomorrow as well. So we'll see about that. Some Fed speakers. But it's going to get pretty interesting. Let's see. But thank you guys. Shout out to the mods. Shane, Mike, holder of the shares, Antex, David Johnson, Evergreens. All of you guys appreciate it.